We're here from The Gamer on the final day of Gamescom. I'm Meg, this is Axel.
Hello.
And we're here to tell you what our favourite games of the day were. So what was your one?
My favorite game of the day was Path of Exile 2. I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, I played a little bit of the first one, but I was overwhelmed because it's a game with a lot of systems. All the build system is nuts. You have to basically learn a language. So I was like, okay, let's see what we have here. I like a lot of Diablo. I played since the very first one. I like 4 very much. But something that happened with Diablo is that you started to get restricted. You play in a certain way. Over time, 3 and 4 got better. But what surprised me the most about Path of Exile 2 is the versatility. No, it's ridiculous. You can do a lot of stuff from the very beginning. They show me a late game character too, and it's very interesting how you can not only get skills for your class, but from our classes, and you have like a lot of synergy with a lot of stuff. How you level up. At one point, they showed me the 3 skill for my character. It was
Like a man.
yeah. It was no. I don't know how to say it. And it felt more approachable. It was like, hey, you have these tools. Soon you will have a lot of, but for the time being, it was great. So, what about you, Meg?
My favourite game, I think you can guess it because it's one of your favourite games.
Yeah.
Was Monster Hunter. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, I was like, oh, do I try out the new weapon straight away? But I went to the Twin Blades because that's what I play as. So I was like,
Sure.
I have to check it out. And you know, the combat's always been the shining star of like Monster Hunter games, and that was obviously like phenomenal. Everything felt so tactile, like, and being able to obviously on the mount and stuff, really great. But it also like looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the cutscenes, like, you know, you're looking at people, like you see the veins in their eyes and everything. Like
I was playing something else, and when I look back, there was Monster Hunter, and I keep picking at it, and it looks amazing. Yeah.
it's so amazing. Like I was already excited for it, but after playing it, I'm like, oh, now I really can't wait to get more of it because it was so good, so good. And I just happened to pick a character that looked like Yennefer and a mustache, so it was brilliant.
Yeah, great.
What else did you see that was cool today?
Well, I played like an hour of Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Well, you know, I like fighting games, so it was going to be easy, but I think it's a really good game. I haven't played the previous one in a while, and I think this one has some options to make it more casual friendly, like a lot of fighting games are having nowadays. So I think it's good. One thing I didn't love about the latest SNK games is that they don't look really nice. You know, it was like they were trying some styles. I like some show, but the latest King of Fighters were this one. They nailed it with this one. Yeah. It's very visually appealing. You know, it's nice. So I don't know. I have to wait. More for more. What about you, Meg?
So I had like a really retro sort of themed day, and I started with the Chromatic handheld, which is like it plays Game Boy games, and it's like made from. It's got like a metal case, and it's got a sapphire screen. So you can drop it and it won't break, kind of thing. It felt really weighty, so good, and the screen was lush. Like back in the day, in the early days with Game Boys, like it always looked like the pixels were like behind a bit of thick glass because
Yeah.
But obviously you don't have that because it's like a modern screen. And I bought some of my Game Boy games to play on it, and it was amazing. I spent ages there. I just fell in love with it. And they're releasing this Christmas, so I was like, oh, that's going to be like a Christmas winner, I think, with kids. And so I started my day with Game Boys, and I ended my day with Atari, chatting to the lovely Atari guys, going through their re-releases of the consoles and games. And that was incredible. I just like having like retro stuff back in my hands, and it feels the same, and you're like, oh, this takes me back. And you know, I was saying to them, like, you know, do modern audiences like does it appeal to them? Like, you get people like us who grew up with it, they like it for nostalgia reasons.
Yeah, sure.
You get youngsters coming over, and they told me that the like thumbstick, the joystick, like kids aren't familiar with that because you don't normally get them these days. So when they see that, it's like like the beeline for it, and I'm like, what's this stick thing? And it like draws them in. I was absolutely terrible at the games. It was fun anyway.
Shit happens.
But yeah, nice retro ending to Gamescom. I liked it.
Yeah. Great.
Now we have a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, I hope so. Hi, we're here on the last day of Gamescom. I'm knackered. I think we've both had strange days for different reasons. Yes. Yours was a bit of a sort of kerfuffle.
Some of my appointments were mixed around, and I had a lot of VR stuff and some embargoed stuff that I can't really talk about. So I think between us, we've both probably got one game to talk about.
Yeah.
Luckily, we like them.
Yes, yeah, I've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was obviously a banger. I've just seen the Game Awards. It just won Best PC Game at the show for good reason. I mean, the first game was amazing. This one, I think, is like 2 times the size. So it's like a 100-hour RPG. If you love delving into 14th century, 15th century Bohemian history, then it's the best. Yeah, it's the best possible game for it. The story continues following on Henry from the end of the last game. I was told by the developer that it doesn't actually matter. Well, they tried to do it so you don't have to have played the first game, which struck me as a bit odd because it's such a huge story in the first game. But I think the way that they do like a sort of, a brief summary at the start and just throw you into it.
It was interesting when they say that because you're never really sure how much they're saying that, for the audience.
Yes.
They want as many people as possible to play, so they don't say you've got to play a 60-hour RPG.
Yes. Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe they develop it that way. They don't just say that in the press. Maybe they were thinking that all along.
Yeah. Because I think having to commit to playing the first game to then essentially want to buy the new one. It's tricky.
It was successful, but you want as big and marred as possible.
Exactly.
It wasn't an Elden Ring. Kind of everybody played. Yes. They want to get more people in, I think, this time.
Yeah, definitely. We did a mission where it was just a side quest in one of the town maps. Gorgeous. I mean, the level of detail since the first game has definitely stepped up as well. And we had to assist a sword master who was having a rivalry with the local Brotherhood of Sword Fighters. It was a stealth mission. I don't really like stealth.
Nobody's favorite.
I don't like. I was like, well, this is a bit not great because it's a wicked game with cool combat, and I spent most of it crawling around. I had to wait until it was night, but I didn't bother. I just tried to sneak in and I ended up getting chased across the town and stealing a horse and riding away. So in a way, it was an organic kind of...
And that's part of the experience, though, isn't it? Yeah. Playing your way and getting it. It's not like in some games when you don't do it properly and it goes, right, you failed.
Yeah.
Try again.
Yeah. And I think, at the end, he said, the guy that was leading the session said that there are multiple ways that this could have turned out. And I guess that's part of its branching multiple hours of gameplay, is that there are multiple ways that it can unfold. And I liked it. The voice acting was good. Characters are interesting. Yeah, it's more Kingdom Come Deliverance. So if you loved the first one, then you'll love the second one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you see? What was the other game you saw?
My game is the last game that I played 4 different VR games today, and actually talk about 2 of them. I'm just going to pick one to highlight. It was called Band Space VR. It's basically Band Hero, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, whichever one was your favorite. Probably not Band Hero.
Sure.
That wasn't anybody's favorite.
No, that was the one with the drum kit, though, right?
Which Band Space also has, you can VR game, you have your bass, your drums, your keyboard, and your guitar. Now, they said the guitar was kind of expert, had a bit of a longer tutorial.
Sure.
I played with someone else in the game. I played with Rhiannon. So we skipped that. We did a few songs. Each did the drums, the keyboard, the bass. And it's really tactile. When you play in the bass, you really strum along with it. You play the drums.
Does it make you feel like you're actually playing?
It does, yeah. That was what I was saying to them, because I played a lot. I had the Band Hero peripherals. I had Rock Band. I had 3 or 4 of the Rock Bands. I had the guitar, most of the Guitar Heroes. I really, really enjoyed those games.
Yeah.
And then they kind of died because no one wanted to buy big plastic tank anymore. So it's interesting to see it in VR, because I was kind of worried when I booked to see it that it wouldn't live up to my expectations. So I was really happy to see that it did. It felt really immersive. The songs, as far as I could see, seemed to be custom to the game.
Sure.
Okay. They weren't not like licensed tracks. But they did say they're going to be adding mod support to the game, like Beat Saber.
Sure.
So you can add your own games in.
Thomas Tank Engine, whatever you want.
I mean, I've seen more like Tesla. Sure. Thomas Tank Engine if you want. So there's a lot of opportunity, I think, for it to grow a little bit of a community. The problem with it is it's a VR game, and they struggle with communities. It's only coming to the Quest.
Yeah,
but it is coming to Steam, so they said any headset we can support, you'll play it on. But if you want to just play it on the headset itself without needing to read in anything, only the Quest, which for me, my main VR platform is PSVR.
Sure.
PSVR 2. So it's not coming to the console, but I should hopefully be able to use my headset for it on Steam if I can kind of set that up.
I mean, there's been a lot of VR games here. Yes. I mean, there was last year as well.
I haven't played any this year. They kind of make me feel a bit.
Yeah, I played a lot of them actually. I played most of them this year.
Yeah. They don't make me feel great.
Yeah, I think the thing with VR is I played a few of the VR games that I can't actually talk about them in detail. I can't name them.
Yeah.
But there were a few that I would say were great VR games.
Yeah.
But I think that is often the qualifier that you give. They weren't necessarily great games. They were good. They were fun. I enjoyed them. Yeah. But they feel like VR games. You know, they still feel quite clunky. You go to pick weapons up and they don't go, and the developer's like, oh, you just got to do this, and if you just take 7 turns, it's really fun.
Yeah.
And you like swing from ropes and say, I've done this a million times, but when I do it in games, it's really cool. And when I do it in real life, it's like, oh, have I fell again? Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
So I am very concerned, I guess, about the VR community, because I think the games just aren't quite catching up in time.
Yeah.
They're still a little bit off the pace, which is why Band Space was really, I guess, just enjoyable to play, because it's really simplistic.
Yeah.
You know, you hold the controller. It's more like a motion game, really. The VR was just to see it. It was really like you could play on the Switch or the Wii.
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing. You know, you just had the joysticks or nunchucks, as they called them on the Wii, in your hand. You were banging the drums or playing the keyboards. I guess it's the actual vision didn't matter.
With a game like that, it's kind of odd because it's, you know, with Band Hero, I remember like sitting in my friend's like bedroom and like he would be on the guitar and I'd be. It's like a social thing.
Yeah.
VR, it always feels like it's very, you know, it's just strapped onto your head. It's a very
Yes.
And I guess that applies for like when you're trying to watch VR games on the stream or on YouTube. It never quite
feels the same.
Yeah. Even watching it sometimes makes you feel a bit like,
I think what was cool about this one was when I did the bass first, when I did that, I was just kind of like playing the bass.
Yeah.
And I well mic'd up so I could hear Rihanna in my ear, but obviously she wasn't saying anything while we were playing the game because we were listening to the song.
Yeah.
But then when I was on the drums, because the drummer sits at the back of the band, I could see Ree's avatar. It wasn't custom because we just got to use the default ones that the game gave us because it was just a demo. But I could see her on stage, and you can use the thumbstick to like walk around, not if you're playing the drums or the keyboard, but if you're playing the guitar or the bass, you can like walk and interact with the crowd. And there's like sometimes it was a crowd, sometimes it was like it was an Egyptian god, and there was like lightning crying every time you played the bass. So there was like there was a real like presentational thing. So I think it makes it as social as a band can be, because even though a band is a really big social group, when the song's on, the band start chatting to each other. You know, they're kind of in the zone. So I think it's one of those really fun experiences that you could easily have a party. You need to have like 4 MetaQuest sets. You need to be having this party at your mansion.
Yes.
But if you had a but if you were doing that, you'd be able to do it quite easy. And because it's all hands, especially the drum and the keyboard, you can just sit down. Yeah. Because you can calibrate it by your height. So you said if you get in a chair first, calibrate it. Yeah. You're fine. So yeah, I think the social aspect of VR came into it with this. But we can't say much more about any of the other games. So I think that's everything.
I saw some cool other stuff today, but they're all, embargoed until later in the year. But it's been a good show.
It has been a good show. Yeah, it's been.
There's been a real mix of stuff. I saw loads of wicked indies as well that just sort of have popped out of nowhere almost. But yeah, cool.
Yeah,
that's us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. We will have a load of stuff going up on the site. We do try and really do Gamescom to the max. We see a lot of short indie games, just 20 minutes, half an hour. Yeah. So over the next couple of weeks, probably by the time we've seen them all, loads of stuff appearing on the game. I make sure you're checking the YouTube channel, checking the social channels, and also checking the website. It's a game on no spaces.
Yep.
And
I think between us, there must be there's 60?
Yeah, we had over 60 appointments, but some of them I think we'll merge when we write about them. So I'd say at least 50 articles from Gamescom going up, which is more than a lot of sites here are going to have. I think it's a big thing. I think we're really proud of as the gamer. Yeah. And I hope our audience is too.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed them.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.